Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is an odd one. We're going to have a look at the all-new Enviro 400 launch video. Now this is old, they've had them around for a while, but I've had to wait to do this because it wouldn't have been a good look originally. Now don't get me wrong, I got on with ADLs, but let's have a look at this.
It was just 2 years ago that ADL announced the transformational project MMC. Designed to address the wants and needs of customers, major model change would involve every aspect of the business. A hugely ambitious project.
Every part apart from quality control, it would seem.
Of our business. It's the most phenomenal opportunity to underpin the business from 2014 onwards.
I think it's going to be, in some ways, very significantly different from what we've done in the past.
It isn't.
So what we're doing is making
Not really.
That we absolutely
You just added some curves.
The needs of our key customers.
One of the objectives we have is to be able to demonstrate to customers that the whole life cost of owning our vehicles is measurable, first of all, and it is lower and cheaper than that of the competition.
Well,
it's going to be the most thoroughly
maybe
engineered new product that we've ever launched.
It is when you get your parts from China.
The deliverables of the project, and the way we've tried to describe that is our ABC approach, and that stands for a platform approach, best cost of ownership, and customer enhancement.
And we'll pause there. Platform approach, yeah, the basic, you know, everything's the same chassis, etc. Best cost of ownership, yeah, they went to Xinjiang market that morning and got the cheapest parts they possibly could and put them all together. Custom enhancement, yeah, we'll touch on that one in a bit.
What we're really doing is we're taking this as a phenomenal opportunity, getting our sales, financial, purchasing, manufacturing, quality, aftermarket people.
Quality.
And I've missed a few like a wedding list. But getting all of those folks to play at the top of their game, to understand what best in class looks like, is really what will take our business to the next level.
Admittedly, they're doing better than Mancbuses.
As the project progressed, it became clear that the constant theme would be customer engagement. Listening to customers and learning from their wealth of experience was vital to the development and success of MMC. And following early meetings, these views became more apparent in the spring of 2013 with the unveiling of a mock-up at Skelmersdale.
A cardboard bus. What they listened to was the engineers and not the drivers. They say the drivers, but it's all engineering. People aren't driving the buses every single day.
Being focused on two key elements of the design. Firstly, a digital mock-up of the interior of the vehicle.
Which looks nothing like the vehicle, never does.
It's a novel idea, because before you would design a vehicle and come and sell it to us and say, here's our bus. Now, actually, we feel part of the team because...
See, engineering director.
From the beginning now, so we can put our input in. Getting people to come from bus companies is something which is unique. As I say to ADL, they're giving the bus...
Chief engineer, go northeast.
To have his input.
Not one of these is a driver. Not one that's going to sit down and be with the bus every single day. I have to put up with driving it every single day.
What everybody wants. But actually now to see...
Yet they're all putting their input in.
So for me, this shows all the benefits of all the time spent with ADL, putting our ideas together as a team, and actually seeing the end result that they've taken on board some of the things that...
Oh look, another engineering director.
They seem to have made significant improvements.
No, it's fantastic to see that ADL have taken on all that.
Business improvement director. What does that have to do with driving a bus? When was the last time this idiot sat behind the wheel? I can say that now, first bus out in Manchester. Never going to work for them.
Have been developed through what we've said and the input we've given, and we just can't wait to see.
That's
the
it. Yeah,
actual
you sit in
product,
that
get
cab
hands
for
on
the
it,
first time in
test
about
it on the
4
road,
years,
and see what it can do for
if
us.
not longer.
The standard of the connections for the wiring and the actual wire itself.
Now this is the only person that you could get away with a training development manager, but I still bet he's not sat behind a wheel for a few years.
Windows to, you know, the coat hook in the driver's cab, everything is covered in great detail.
Yeah, the coat looks crap. It's in a shite position.
A lot of the concepts which we've talked about are now starting to see actually emerging in the design and how.
There's the fan that just blows absolutely nothing into your face because it can't get any air from behind it because it's in a cubbyhole. You know, you might as well get a 2-year-old blowing air on you. They're more useful.
How they're going to be applied, and generally it seems to be very well liked, whether that's reliability improvements, weight reduction, styling and design, the new glazing system, quick replacement. There's been some very good positive feedback.
I think it's really engaging because this is all
Oh
about
look, efficiency and engineering director.
to get the best possible customer experience.
So yes, it's imperative they ask us at this early stage.
Another engineering.
ADL have listened to
National Secretary, First Group Economics Committee. AKA twat.
what customers and drivers have had to say about these things.
And because they're getting people from the big groups, they're going to end up with a product which will go across the whole of the country a good way.
Yeah, but it's
this
crap.
will be the next generation purchase for us. It'd be nice to see it and to know that we've been part of it.
It's a
I think
good
it'll be
bus,
real step forward.
but-
It'll certainly shake the industry up, and it'll give the competitors something to think about.
You can tell it's cheaply built. Built down to price when it goes to its places. And that one's been under a bridge that's just been on.
Final and possibly most important piece of the customer engagement jigsaw.
It's only 5
in
years
late
old.
2013 at ADL's new Larboard facility. The MMC project team persuaded some of the most influential operators to clear a space in their diaries for an update on the project. After slideshows and discussions, the group was invited
Wankery.
to view the new bus in build on the shop floor.
Oh, it's a bus being built. It's the only time none of it will rattle. And it'll work perfectly.
You know, we've tried to get the message across that their feedback has been really essential to us. We've shown them where we've made the changes and the improvements that they've asked us to do. So ultimately, they really do feel like this is their bus.
Well, what we've done over the last few days is started off with a little bit of feedback from the previous session, and then we've spent some time really looking around the vehicles, looking at the composite interdeck and roof.
How can you look round a shell of a vehicle?
Is a structure that we can look round, so how the wiring routing has actually been achieved, how we've
A nightmare.
implemented new connectors, how we've changed the
The
modular
connector's the
design
only
for
thing. I know
houses,
someone has
all
something
made
good to
with
say about it.
reliability.
But other than that,
It
it's a
was at this
nightmare.
point that the chosen audience gathered in the centre of the room and the partition was raised. Everyone expected a next stage prototype, but no one was quite prepared to see a virtually complete Enviro 400 MS.
Right. How the hell on the planet in that empty space was they expecting someone to push one on or something? And how the hell didn't they hear it? It's a flipping bus, for Christ's sake.
towards them.
Didn't that sound like a
The
jumbo
achieved
jet?
in a short space of time was nothing short of remarkable.
Continuity there, he's got his doors open, then they're shut. Minor details. It's got your PG-45 mirrors.
First time.
And one side's one yellow and then it's black.
See what it is that we've been talking about.
They've seen images on a computer screen, that they've seen the mock-ups of the cab.
Certainly some people were very surprised to see the vehicle in the state that it was.
Really good opportunity to.
We're very surprised to see a bus built in a bus place that builds them.
But to actually see it in the flesh, with the complete bus wrapped round about it, yeah, it's been very positive.
It's
It does make
not.
it feel like it's my boss. Like
No,
I'm
it
trying to
doesn't.
say in the design
You're a
for this boss.
managing director, engineering director for Metro Line.
We have a
Go out and drive the bloody things.
Makes it hard for us as operators not to be impressed and not to be...
He's a CEO, but he's never sat in the cab in his life. And if he did, it was several years ago.
There's definitely a feeling that we're part of this. We've not just turned up and someone's shown us a new product. At the end of the day, it will be our vehicle. So
That dash is completely different to what you get now.
Look forward to being able to have it as our bus. I feel that I've contributed to the build. This is my design.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's brilliant.
Well, you certainly feel part of it, don't you? You can actually sit on the bus and say, actually, that was something I
And you took
suggested, or
nothing that driver
taken
said
on board
there.
the discussions that we've had.
It's plainly obvious.
The response has been absolutely brilliant.
And nothing is quick to be repaired about it.
The comments generally have been absolutely brilliant.
Lots of well thought out.
The original Route Master was a quick engineering bus. You could have an engine out in a day and it back out in the afternoon.
Revolutionary, actually, for a manufacturer to ask its customers what they want from day one.
This, it takes an entire day to do a flipping alternator.
They clearly have listened and they're applying that learning in their new product, which is it's hugely impressive.
Oh, there we go, bus with a bullseye on it.
Finally unveiled to customers who were instrumental in its conception. The next stage was a rigorous test program.
Yeah, look how smooth that road was.
An exceptional testing regime, simulating the full life of a bus in the toughest possible conditions.
Anywhere but Manchester.
The new Enviro 400 will be ADL's most reliable product ever.
Tested it everywhere but a city centre. And look how smooth them roads are. Oh, there we go. We've got a bit of a potholey road there. I know I'm going to stand here looking like a twat.
The things that have been talked about through the development stage of it have actually come to fruition.
Paramount importance that we needed to save weight. ADL have embraced that. It's bright, it's light, the scheme is very good.
Depends on who you get it for. What's the colour scheme got to do with anything? That's had a new panel already.
Person are going to be equally comfortable in this cab. That's good. That's long.
See, you can see there in that picture, that is the cab that they were looking at. It's not the cab we got, but at least you could tell what the other buttons that should be there.
And I will say that it actually looks smaller than it is. It's inside, it actually feels bigger.
No, it doesn't. It feels like a bus.
Spacious. The LED lighting, the rear window, the seating with no runners on the floor. It'll enable us to keep the vehicle looking cleaner.
I don't know anywhere else
Yeah,
where
right.
the customer gets the opportunity to
See, that's a smoothish road. Okay, it's got a few bumps in it, but they're not like jolty bumps. It's nothing like running it down the town streets with flipping potholes everywhere. And it's great taking it down a cobbled road at a steady speed, but what about the smooth road with a massive pothole in it that you don't hear?
Project MMC continued to gather pace as production plants geared up for what will be the most
There's its fuel tank.
fault-free bus ever. A consistent, high-quality finish throughout the
Fault
design.
free.
A build accuracy second to none.
Comment,
And every vehicle for every
comment below if you've seen one broken down more than once.
At this stage, let's take a moment to see in more
Won't be able to
detail
stop the
some of
comments.
the many improvements that have been designed in to this revolutionary new product.
I'm waiting. Here we go.
New Enviro 400, the bus that raises the bar throughout the whole industry. Welcome to the future.
Yeah. Right, we didn't ask for a bit of the disco jazz here. We just want to know what's supposed to be the bus of the future.
As soon as you board the new Enviro 400, you sense that this is a new experience. Let's start at the driver's cab. There's a gloss finish that flows from here seamlessly in.
For the start, the gloss finish, really nice to look at. It's great to look at. Until the sun shines on it. Then you sat in the driver's seat, you can't see sod all because you've got your sun visor down to stop the sun, but the sun's bouncing off the dashboard into your face. So you look like a twat, trying to look where you're going. Doesn't help.
rest of the interior, and the thing that stands out
Next.
immediately is this, the assault screen. 100% functional, but with gentle curves that blend with the surrounding area. In addition, the distracting reflections are greatly reduced by the attention to detail. 100%.
Something to note about this great assault screen, which in London it's great because you don't have to speak to the driver in London. But where's the holes? See, so outside of London you can be heard. You can tell it's London Oyster straight away. It's designed for London.
In addition, the distracting reflections
Make it so you can't see in the mirrors very well.
into the whole design.
Look at that, it's in testing and he's got warning lights up on the dashboard. What does that tell you straight away?
All in easy reach of the driver. So, what's there to see inside the cab?
A seat and a steering wheel. Yeah, and some buttons. I see the assault alarms there.
Well, the first thing you notice that's different is that it's spacious.
No, it's not, because where do you put your bag? You put it down at your feet, it gets in the way. You put it in the cupboard, it smells when it comes out because the demisters heat up the cupboard. So where do you put your bag? Next.
Then, there's the door. Buses have long been bucked by doors that rattle. Well, that all changes with the new E400.
Right, next comment below of which buses you've been on, which are this style, the MMC style, which have rattly doors. Even the ones we have, the two we have in our depot, which don't have the full assault screens, their doors rattle because the locks get loose over time as they go over the potholes. You can't say we've developed an anti-rattle door. It anti-rattles for the first 5 minutes. As soon as you go out on a proper street, it rattles. Next.
Thanks to these seals, it won't rattle.
Bollocks.
At last, a rattle-proof door.
Shut up, you fool.
Even the lock has been re-engineered.
Yeah, so that little plastic bit falls off, then you cut your hand on the metal below.
It's this level of detail and refinement that has gone into every aspect of ADL's new bus.
Get lost, man. Stop talking out your backside.
Well, it's ergonomically designed for a wide range of drivers. After all, the guys and the girls behind.
You can't say that because it depends which seat you get fitted. That is a Chapman seat. We have the Chapman seat. The ones with rollers are crap because you roll up, then you go over a speed bump and the roller goes down. So it's crap. The ones that you latch is really well.
Everything the driver needs
Next.
is comfortably within reach, including the start and gear buttons and the parking brake.
Why do the start buttons need to be easily in reach? And the gears? You select drive, you go forward. That's it. You know. Why does it have to be easily reached? Tell you what needs to be easily reached. The buttons to keep turning the interior lights back on, because every time it auto stop starts, it turns the bastard things off. Next. I'll grant them with that, it does work, but it's very stiff on most vehicles. I'll give him that.
Visibility is exceptional.
It's
too.
shite.
New wraparound screen and improved sightlines to the front and sides, and well-positioned mirrors.
Well positioned, you've got your near side one, which is great if you want to interact with the bus stop or the bus in front, and a tall person, because it hangs over the curb and it arrives 20 days before you do. The interior mirror you can't see for call during the day because of the reflections. The windscreen, the interior lights are so bright you can't see shot all out at night. You've got to turn half of them off to be able to see. Near side one, offside one on the other hand, good mirror that. Well positioned. Next.
E400 has adopted the positive feedback switches, overwhelmingly favoured by operators. They're functional, easy to see, feel and operate.
No, I'll give them that.
Screen technology is critical too, and ADL's team have looked at all possibilities.
Have they?
And the result? They've come up with a layout that cleverly positions everything positively.
I see that when they put this bank of switches in, even in the demonstrator, they couldn't fill them. The only thing that was ever up there when I drove them were the wing mirror ones, which was in that one there. You had your Destiny controller there. We didn't have iBus. We didn't have any of that. This screen great, but the one they used, the optical sensor couldn't sense daytime. So during the day, you can't see anything in it. Unless you look at it and you squint and you look like a twit trying to squint at it. And by the time you've squinted and seen what the person that's setting fire to the back of the bus is doing, you've crashed into the car in front. Next.
But also unobtrusively.
Bollocks.
The same applies to the optional cooling.
Optional cooling fan. I had to get an image for this one to get this one in. Again, I've already said it's crap because you get no airflow in it. At least the old one, okay, it blew crap in your face, but it got a good, decent airflow.
The cab structure has been shaped to accommodate it as part of the overall design.
Well, why don't you fit it as standard then?
There's plenty of space for the driver's jacket and his storage area.
Now, you see, on the ones that we got, that hook is on the door here. It's not there, it's there. So when you shut your door, your coat gets trapped in the seams, then you can't shut the door. So you spend 20 minutes trying to fight with the door and your coat to try and, before you just throw your coat on the floor and go, fuck it.
Providing space for everything but the kitchen sink.
That is the cupboard, guys, that I was on about that smells when you fill it up because it gets hot. Next. Oh, he's got out.
There's a whole new experience for the driver, but what about the passengers?
They wish they never got on it.
The thing that hits you immediately is the light, airy and welcoming ambience both downstairs and upstairs.
They can't say that because it depends on who orders it to what colour scheme they get. Like Arriva have got quite a dark colour scheme, where First also have a dark colour scheme. I can't think of a bus company that has a light colour scheme, to be honest, apart from London, which you can see quite clearly there.
This is primarily down to the exceptionally large windows,
Great, mate, great target practice for the kids.
including a rear window, which was a unanimous recommendation of ADL's customers.
Yeah.
The whole interior has been designed so that
And two fuse cupboards,
shapes, colours,
just to confuse things further.
There is also an extra seat on the London spec bus and an amazing 5 more in the hybrid model, with no compromise on legroom or space.
Does it burn itself?
And these are all full-size seats, not the compromised mother and child versions found on some buses.
Which they've now changed because now you get the full up back leather ones, which are better. I wouldn't call them full seats because you got nothing for your head. They are the uncomfy seats.
They also
Next.
benefit from generous headroom.
Depending on your spec.
Heating and ventilation also makes a quantum leap in the new Enviro 400. In tackling this, ADL engineers went back to basics, designing a system that will create a consistently warm environment in the winter, but also capable of providing a constant cooler temperature in the summer. The new system
Bollocks.
is based on a heating unit located in the lower saloon.
Granted, the heating works beautifully in the winter. Sometimes it can be hotter upstairs than it can in your cab. It normally works beautifully. In the summer, however, models that aren't fitted with air conditioning, that little poncy little heater cannot provide enough cold air to cool the inside of a double-decker. Especially when you've got bigger windows to improve visibility, which makes you a bigger fucking greenhouse.
And it's designed to force air to all corners of the bus, both quickly and efficiently.
I'll give them it does do that in the winter.
Buses fitted with the air chiller in the upper saloon.
Or air
Passengers
conditioning.
will experience a consistent temperature between 17 and 18 degrees, wherever they are on the bus, all year round.
Well, we don't have that in Manchester, so...
The staircase, or should I say square case, is a new approach.
Yeah, it's great for people
This
falling
compact
down it.
design takes up less space,
But it is a
easy to use,
great design for sweeping.
making it safer and more user-friendly, thanks to a continuous handrail running from top to bottom.
Yes.
There are some major hidden design benefits too, and many of them...
Go on, let's hear 'em.
Holy grail of the rattle-proof bus.
No. They rattle.
Pole mountings and securely fixed wiring looms are things that passengers won't see, but they will have a beneficial impact.
Wiring looms can't comment on, but I do know they're a pain in the backside.
Both driver and passenger will welcome the E400 and all its benefits. But what about the operators? What gives ADL the competitive edge?
Well, they're not right bus and they've not gone bust. There we go.
Well, the fact that over 70 operators were involved in the creation of this new bus was a good start. But let's look at some of the...
But yet they only create the London spec one as a demonstrator.
Less. And that means better fuel consumption. It's 400 kilograms lighter than the previous Enviro.
You can't claim a bus has good fuel consumption.
Cylinder 6.7-litre engine.
See, you can't mix the words good fuel consumption and economical, which is what they're gonna say, with the 6.7-litre engine, which is turbocharged, by the way. And what you can see here is the 2 alternators it takes to charge all the batteries to run the bloody thing. You can't say it's economical. You can say it's more economical than its predecessor.
Is the latest in a
Just.
proven and reliable Cummins engines, but now
Yeah, Cummins have good engines.
levels. Everything working for optimum performance and minimum fuel consumption.
Unless you have the TFGM spec one and you have to be limited by your acceleration. Next.
The rear access opens higher, and the side doors open wider.
Yeah, I'd grant the rear, yeah, it opens, it's very good. It's a bit like you can work on it in the rain.
All items needing regular maintenance or replacement are easily accessible.
Yeah.
Similarly, at the front of the bus, the demister unit is easy to reach through this panel.
Doesn't that tell you that they've had lots of issues with it?
The electrical system is all new too, a fully multiplex system based on a proven design.
Which is why, in Manchester, when the auto stop start, they sometimes get confused and stall themselves. The lights turn off when the auto stop start kicks in sometimes because it gets confused. Why the bells stop working, and need I can carry on? Oh yeah, why the side lights stop working when you smash one of them by mistake.
The wiring harness is a great example of attention to detail and saving. It's made up of short modular sections rather than one long harness. So, if there is a fault, the
And they've done a better job than Mancbuses by just putting all the cables in black.
The harnesses terminate in well-accessed bulkhead locations rather than being tucked out of reach.
And if you've ever seen an engineer try and work on that corner, you'll notice that in that picture they've got that wide open, yet it's difficult to work in there to find where the fuses are.
The entire wiring system is...
Because look where the fuses are, they're right in the back corner. You know, it's like, let's put something that might blow and easily need replacing right at the back.
inside the body rather than exposed to dirt, moisture and impact damage.
Unless you hit a side light and then you blow your internal lights out.
Centralized into one easy-to-reach
See, that works though, I'll give them that.
Located at the top of the stairs, this contains all the control units and major components.
I'll give them that.
Neatly laid out location.
That's much better.
This is where all diagnostic routines are carried out, and if customers want to add their own electronic systems, there's plenty of space for that too.
No, there isn't, because on the Manchester ones, this is not the CCTV box. The CCTV box just fits in there. Then they had a radio, then they had this, and then they had that, and there's just no room for it all. I've seen inside these cupboards a certain company with a beach ball logo, and this cupboard at the top of the stairs is just crammed, literally crammed. You can't move. The CCTV's off on an angle because it doesn't fit in long ways. It is a nightmare. The reason I've seen inside this cupboard is because they put the radio volume up here. Great. So the driver can't adjust it, but that's not ADL.
On the new E400, there's greater access throughout for all systems that need maintenance or replacement. The wiper motor can be reached and removed from the drive.
This is a great panel, this, because what you can do is if you've got the derrick in up there, the USB ones, you can plug your phone in and lower this down, put it up and trap your wire in between the seals and charge your phone whilst you drive down the road.
The fuel tank can be removed from within
Also, the speaker you can shut off is under there.
It's lighter and easier to handle. The destination display is easily accessed from the upper saloon for cleaning and maintenance.
cleaning. Not in outside of Manchester, not outside of London, should I say.
On the bus can be removed or tightened using a small range of standardised Allen keys. Outside, the skirt panels are easily removed too.
Not what the bodybuilders say in Manchester.
But out of sight, so the bus presents a smooth exterior finish.
So it's more aerodynamic. How can you make a brick aerodynamic? It's a brick.
But what about reliability? Well,
Crap.
ADL's engineering team have analysed a vast database of repair and maintenance issues and addressed them one by one. There's a new design of dashboard electronics to counter failures, new fixings and seals for wiring harnesses, upgraded cabling where they're subject to extreme heat, dirt or moisture, and new batteries that retain their charge longer, all located on a new slide-out tray.
I'll give him that.
LED lights inside and out are much more reliable.
Depends. You can't. You can say they're guaranteed for this long, but they're not all guaranteed for that long, and they go wrong. And when they go wrong, they just go out.
There's a new wiper motor, more accessible and with a new design.
We've covered that. You can't say that twice.
Single loop heater featuring.
And you've said that again. Oh, that's twice now. You've said that.
Doors and ramps are all new, modern and reliable designs with the option of an electric door.
Yeah, you can have the electric door, which the BYDs have. In London, it's a motorised ramp. How can you improve on the outside London version, which is a lever on the floor which you lift up and the ramp folds out with you? You can't say that you can get that any more reliable because it's a ramp, it's on hinges. Oh no, sorry, you can, because the hinge pivots keep coming out.
There's also an option for a new electric ramp, 25 kilos lighter than the previous design. The hand poles with improved mountings can't come loose.
Can't come loose. We've heard that before. They can.
The suspension system now features electronic control to stop buses settling when parked, and the air system has been modified to stop leaks. The entire body is
Granted, but it does get confused every now and again, and I'll insert the video at the end of it getting confused.
structurally stiffer.
I've still got it.
By bonded front and rear screens, eliminating water leaks.
Now I'll give him that as well.
And that brings me nicely to one of the most radical and contentious areas within bus design.
Glazing.
Makes it a greenhouse. And is very, very, very expensive. And some muppet decided we'll have these little smash the glass things on the window.
1950s technology, gasket glazing or bonded glazing, which is generally regarded as more attractive, but which requires buses to be off the road for several hours.
Actually, neither is ideal.
Not really, because my B10 has had a new Desti glass, and that's bonded, and that took them an hour to do, and then it could go back out on the road. So you can't say it'll be off for most of the day. In a general business sense, most bus companies now, they used to do bonded glass themselves so they could keep spare glass panels. Now, with this technology, they don't want to fork out for the training, it's too complicated, so they don't. So you've got to wait for someone like PSV Glass to come and do it. So your bus is off the road for the day, if not 2 days, with a smashed windscreen or a smashed window while they come and replace it for you.
Deal. Which is why the Enviro 400 is the world's first bus to feature ADL's unique QRG glass replacement system.
This flush, leak-free installation is a major time saver. Damaged windows can be replaced on the spot, and the bus can be back on the road in minutes.
They can with bonded glass. Okay, it's an hour,
The external appearance is much
but it can't be on the road in minutes because you've got to wait for someone to come and replace your window.
vehicle where the inner trim is identical to a bonded vehicle.
Who cares?
The glass is held in place by plastic trim strips, which are easily levered off.
And damaged. Oh, sorry. The kids have pulled them out on one while I was driving and dangled it out the window.
The glass remains in place by discrete screw-mount blocks which sit under the trim. The entire replacement process can be carried out by
Go on, mate, drop it.
from inside the bus without having to rely on harnesses or scaffolding.
Again, it relies on bus companies keeping glass panels.
So, it's simplicity and innovation, along with over 200 built-in improvements that are set to keep the Enviro 400 in its market-leading position. Welcome to the future.
Should have looked more at the Route Master. Not the right bus one, though. Anyway, I think that wraps that up. I think then I'll just speak bollocks for the next 4 minutes. So, you tell me below in the comments what you think,
Enviro 400
fucking hell, masterpiece, what your experiences are down below. Were these, where did they get them stagecoach colours from?
It provides a whole new world of excellence and advantage for drivers, passengers, and operators.
Go on, mate, crash it.
I've seen many first-off builds and prototypes.
Anyway, yeah, leave below your
Something fresh, something new.
experiences and what you hate of this new design that, as a passenger or as a driver, you hate of this new design you feel they completely missed out on.
Particularly impressed with the
And we will go from there. I'm sure I'll do another video about this.
Blown away by the window design on it.
the quality is good. It's very good.
Yeah,
And usually when
it's best from the chins on market that day. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. A big thank you to the patrons as well that helped make this happen. Thank you very much for watching, and see you later. Bye for now.
It will be a success.